Hello widget watchers, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to see that how we can handle errors in API call. So for demonstrate this, I have this project in which I have already imported HTTP package, and I have added this package into my pubspec.yaml file. Now come here, and here I have this API response variable to store the API data. Then apart from this, I have this elevated button on which if I press then loading will stored in the API response, so that user have an idea that something is happening. Then I have this method call API. Okay, then I have this text widget, in which I am printing the API response. So now let's come to this call API method. So here when you come into the method, here I have this dummy get request, in which if I hit my request, then I have this kind of response. Then I have added a check that if response status code is 200, then our API request successfully completed. After that I'm storing some data from this response, so let me show you what I'm storing in this variable. So here I am extracting the product array, then we are expecting a 0th index. Then we are expecting this description from here. So I have done the same thing here in the code, and if something went wrong then we are throwing an exception. So now if you save the code and open the run terminal, now press on this hit API button, now you can see we successfully get a response that says, an Apple mobile, which is nothing like Apple. Now let's change the URL so that it will be an invalid request. In that case, now if I save the code and press on this API button, then you can see we get an exception in the console, but the UI continuously saying loading. So in this case our user is not getting notified that there is something wrong happen. So for fixing this, first here add a try catch block. Then here add exception E which we want to catch. Then from here just copy this thing, and remove this exception, and here add the same thing in try block. So now our try block will run this code, and if something wrong happen, in that case it will throw an exception, and then our catch block code will do its thing. So that was the basic idea of adding try catch block. Okay, now here add one more condition that, if status code is not 200, then we are saying that something went wrong, and we are adding that data into API response variable. Okay, now also remove the set state from here, and add the set state and return statement here. Now come inside the catch block and here store the exception value inside this API response variable. So I have just added that. Okay, now again here add the set state, and now let's first fix the URL, to just check that everything is working fine or not. Now if you save the code, then when I press onto this hit API button, then you can see we got a response. Now just change the URL and now save the code again, and now press on this API button. Now the loading things is correct, and now we got something went wrong thing here. So now our user get notified that this API request is failed, so now he can try it again. So that was the basic idea of doing this. And now if you like the video, then please give a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to Widget Wisdom, then please do subscribe to us.